What is poppin' Friday, people? My sweet fantasy football angels. Yes, there we go. A nice dab. People still doing that, Chuck Bass?
Dude, I live in Kentucky. The dab just got here. It's just now sweeping through central Kentucky.
It just arrived. For those that don't know him, I got my guy Chuck Bass in here. One of the quickest emerging meme lords and one of my good buddies in the scene here. And honestly, a pretty okay PUBG player. Like, you know, if you need somebody in a pinch. Mr. Chuck Bass. Chuck, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. This show is a fiasco. It's so properly named. We're already got PUBGs, memes, talking Central Kentucky within the first minute of the show. Maybe we could get into some Pepsi talk later. I don't know if there's going to be room for it, but I'm happy to be here.
We can do Pepsi talk, but I specifically told you there'll be no Jardians references on the show. And
you dropped the first one. Fair enough.
We like to, at the beginning of the show, we like to bring up as many different things as possible to confuse the YouTube algorithm into not letting people looking for football find the show. So
sure, smart. What'd you think about the debate? You know, it was pretty hotly contested debate.
Yeah, let's do politics. What are some of your takes on religion, Chuck?
I hate this whole separate church and state stuff.
No, let's talk football. Folks, if you're just joining us here today, what we're doing is we go through the slate and we're pulling all the top matchups out. We're building an FFPC lineup at the end of the day. What that is a weekly format that's a lot different than the other ones. There's no drafts, there's no salaries. You can use any players you want, but you can't use two guys from the same team. So the beauty of that is you can't get killed by some stack. Say somebody last night stacked Kirk Cousins and Kadarius Hodge against you. Like that, you don't have to worry about those situations. But in this, that does make for some tough decisions because a lot of the good players are all on the same teams. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through. I'm going to ask Chuck what matchups he likes. And again, we can get a little bit cute, differentiate a little bit. I'll ask him who he likes from each matchup. Maybe there's some sleepers. Maybe it's all chalk. And along the way, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. Just do us a favor and try and ask them during the game we're talking about, if possible. I know you guys get a little excited and you want to throw some stuff out there, but it helps with the flow of the show. If we're talking about the Jets and the Vikings and you throw a question out about the Jets and the Vikings, makes it more likely we're going to answer it because we got a lot to get to here. Yeah, grow up, dude. Help us help you out there, people.
Come on. What are you doing here?
For real. So, hey, before we get into it, any words on your Buccaneers game from yesterday? What were your overall vibes?
That was just classic Tampa Bay football to be dominating all game and then give it away. 90 seconds left in the game in opposing territory. I'm not going to complain about the refs. I'm not going to complain about the offense. That's chicken shit football. You blew it. And that's how they like to do things around those parts.
I love it, dude. And I just want to say I do appreciate
I don't love it.
I love it. I love it. Dude, it was great for fantasy football. As somebody who doesn't care who wins the game, I thought it was great for fantasy, man. And I do appreciate you. I did reach out to Chuck and I said, please, when you show up to the show, just do your best to look like you're hosting like a trivia night. So make sure you have like a microphone that you can hold, maybe a pair of glasses that you can throw on.
Sure.
Like
a middle school talent show kind of vibe.
Yeah, like a prom DJ vibe. So I do appreciate that for the show.
Of course.
Let's real quick. Just want to thank everybody for joining us in the chat, and we'll hit the questions in the chat before we get in. So thank you guys. We see you guys. Eric, Mile High Luke,
chat's popping.
Jerry, thank God it's Friday, or maybe you just fit a fan of the restaurant. Not sure there. Eric has two questions right from the rip. He is out on Anthony Richardson, not starting him. Would you go Flacco or Caleb Williams, or just start Anthony Richardson?
I'm probably going Flacco. Jaguars down bad, 0-4. Flacco looking beast. Josh Downs, Pittman, Mitchell coming back alive. Give me the Flack.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I mean, last two, I went back and pulled like the games that he actually like played the full games the last 2 years for the Jets and the Browns. Dude, he is huck it, chuck it football, Flacco.
He's the most fun.
43.5 attempts per game is the second. If you were to take like all the seasons over the last like 5 years, the only guy that attempted more passes as an actual starting quarterback was your guy, Tom Brady, when he just said, like, we're throwing it every play. and he was just audibling. Yeah, right. He was throwing the ball in 1 second after the snap and audibling out of every run play. That's basically what Flacco offers you.
Why do these quarterbacks have to hit a certain age to do like their eat, pray, love, where they're just like Flacco was the quarterback famous for like the Ravens were like, let's minimize the amount of passing attempts and have this guy do, and now he's breaking records.
At a certain age, you don't care. You just go, you know what it is? It's that Fitzmagic mode where you just go, don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like Fitzpatrick tried to be a normal quarterback. He's obviously a genius that went to Harvard, and at a certain point, he was just like, dude, if they're gonna let me play, I'm chucking it. So
does he get a little bit too much for the Harvard praise? Is that too big of his story for him, or is it not enough?
You know, I think part of it is that he got like a 48 on the Wonderlic and kind of proved that he is actually smart.
That's frustrating. Now he's doing commercials for State Farm where they make him look like an idiot.
He's just like the coolest, man. Like if you go to Harvard and then you're an NFL quarterback, it's like, where do you go from there? You got to be like an astronaut or something next. There's no
Amazon.
He's already there. You just go work at Amazon.
Pretty much. Hucking packages.
Pretty tight. All right. Ford or Akers, half PPR.
Ford. I don't want to watch one more second of Akers play football for the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's one of those things, right? Where in our minds, whoever the starting running back for the team is should be good, but he has not been. So I'm with you, man. I'm done with that. Let's see what else. Happy Friday here. Evans Godwin. Awesome. Trade question. What would you get for Baker or Cousins looking to upgrade or just stay put? I mean, Baker, you can't trade Baker Slayfield right now. He's too hot.
Dude, you would have to really be pulling in a flex asset to trade both of these guys. They both looked fantastic last night, getting everybody involved. I mean, Godwin didn't score. Pitts didn't score. I mean, these guys have options every single week. I don't know what you're getting for that right now.
Yeah, keep it. Let's do one more and then we'll get in. We can't just do questions the entire show. We got to get this lineup going, baby. AJ Brown out, Rashee Rice IR, D-Hop McConkey on bye. Pretty gross, and Shakir is now also out. Just nightmare. Drop Rashee Rice or Sam Darnold. I feel like right now you can't drop Rashee Rice, so you have to start somebody from that group.
Why are you doing this to us, Ann?
She's got to start one of
It's Friday for crying out loud.
It's got to be a kind of shallow league if Waddle and Leggett and Dubs are all on the wire. I think I would just hold my nose and start Jalen Waddle. What do you think?
Yeah, the problem with Waddle is even though he's like the fastest guy in league history to consistently get run down from behind, you know that he's always got that like breakaway. I mean, he was close to it a couple times, even though he only caught a few passes. I would pick him up and hope that Tua announces he's coming back in 3 weeks and just see how you're looking there.
Exactly. Start him and then actually just kind of hang on to him, right?
Yeah.
And dude, for folks that haven't seen any Xavier Leggett interviews, do yourself a favor. This guy is magic, dude.
He's an icon. He's an icon already.
He's got the most Carolina accent I think he's from Carolina. I don't even know where he's from, but it's incredible.
And he's good.
Yeah, and he's good. Yeah, he rocks, man.
That's big time.
Okay, let's get into it. Here's what we're doing today, folks. We're pulling all the best matchups from every game here, and then we're going to go in and we're going to make an FFPC lineup. So I'm just going to go through each one here, ask Chuck what he thinks about basics about the game, who he likes. So why don't we jump into the first one here on the slate? It's actually a breakfast ball game in London, Jets at Vikings. So 2.5 point spread, 40-point over-under. Let's start with the Vikings. If we're going to pull somebody from the Vikings, I mean.
If we're going to pull somebody from the Vikings, as much as my heart wants it to be practice window activator TJ Hawkinson, do we like what we saw from our boy Jordan Addison, or was that a welcome back to town Mr. Cotter game?
I think, yeah. I mean, it was like a J-Mo Williams game or Xavier Worthy, where it's like you look back and he didn't really get a lot of targets, but he scored twice because he got the carry and the touchdown. I think it might be getting too cute in something like this to go with him over Justin Jefferson.
I agree, and I'll hammer that home as to where I think it's October, it's ghost season. Sam Darnold, this is a revenge game for the Jets. So this might be the Sam Darnold fraud alert watch. But Justin Jefferson himself is fraud proof. So, if we're going to ride high, that might be the play.
Yeah. It's like the unfraudable object meets a potentially fraud quarterback.
In London, of all places.
Do they allow
ghosts in London?
It seems like a pretty foggy, ghosty town, dude.
Very foggy.
And I
So
saw
foggy.
this documentary about this boy named Harry Potter, and honestly, it was riddled with ghosts. Like
Tom Riddle.
Tom Riddle, kind of, he's got a ghost adjacent, but there was like Moaning Myrtle and Neely. I mean, it's just like 100 ghosts, dude.
The algorithm on fire right now.
Yeah, the algo is picking up. The algo is picking up what we're putting down. So yeah, I think he could be seeing ghosts. I did like his comments though, where they asked him, they're like, "Do you think the Jets ruined your career?" And he was like, "I don't know."
He was like, "Pass the blunt."
He was like, "I got a lot of opportunities over there. I could have played better." He could have said a bunch of stuff, you know. So I respect that.
Yeah, he seems in that very like happy, like Geno Smith. Like, look, I've been through a lot. I'm just happy to be starting in the league, and I'm not rooting against him. Don't get me wrong.
It's like that. These guys like the near death experience, right? With like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, we almost died there, but now Geno Smith and Baker are back and they're having fun. And then you get into that, and then I think there is that like, I'm retired, I'm getting a Mustang. That's like Joe Flacco and Andy Dalton, right? It's like, who cares? You know, I'll come work for a day, you know, but like on my terms. On the Jets side, I mean, I don't know. Breece Hall's been, but I mean, Breece Hall has the same number of PPR points this year as Chuba Hubbard, as Brian Robinson Jr. Not that those guys have been bad, but I mean, like, we drafted Breece Hall to rock, and he doesn't rock.
The rumor is that this is a blow up Tyler Conklin game.
No.
Can you confirm whether or not the rumors are true?
I can factually confirm that they're untrue.
Dude, I heard he could have 5 targets for 50 yards.
50 yards? That'd be a new record. This guy's got 87 targets, 87 targets in 3 straight years. Has never been fantasy relevant. No Tyler Conklin. If we're gonna use a jet, it's either Garrett. I'm hitting fast forward here. It's either Garrett Wilson or Breece Hall, and probably neither. Let's move on to probably the most exciting game of the slate. Every fan is going to be. You're going to want to have 2 TVs at 1 o'clock. Let's just say, because you're going to have Red Zone on one, and you're going to have Patriots Dolphins on the other. 36.
I might record this game and watch it later without any interruption.
The all 22. Just make sure. I watch it every play from.
I'm gonna do my own Prime Vision. I'm gonna get the whiteboard out like Gruden and do my own Prime Vision.
Dude, Gruden rocks. End of story. Rocks. Yeah. Dolphins, Patriots. Patriots miraculously are favored to win this football game.
Smart.
Can you imagine? They had a terrible offensive line. They lost David Andrews for the season. Dolphins also, you know, going with Tyler Huntley. They lost Jalen Phillips for the season. 36-point over-under. I'm going to just take Patriots off the table, but do we consider like Devon Achane or no?
I mean, they have the worst run game in the league right now. They have the highest stuff rate. I mean, they're getting kind of smashed, and you know, they're not facing the most 8-man pressures or 8 men in the box. It's just the parts just aren't moving in the way that they're supposed to. I'd put him on the table, but if Mostert's going to be back, they're still going to try and do some weird, goofy stuff. I don't know how I feel about any of this.
Yeah, let's leave them out for now. We might have to circle back though, because there's only 4 teams on bye, so we should be able to get away with it. But
sure,
I don't know, man.
We got to visualize it, and then we can circle back.
There you go, Chuck. Rise up, Falcons in the house.
Eat me.
Not sure if they know you're a Bucs fan or not, but
Eat me.
We appreciate all the Falcons shout out.
I'm happy for Kirk. It's good to see him dancing again.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny that like it was basically Matt Ryan night, and then Kirk comes out and he's like, "I'll just go
500 yards, 4 touchdowns.
Let's go ahead and break. I'll just go ahead and break your record. I'll
50 balls to Darnell Mooney over the middle in the double coverage. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, Kadarrell Hodge, super mega star, like,
breaking away.
He's like, I'm gonna let you finish, but let me just go ahead and have a better game than you ever had here, Matt. High five.
Sorry, bud.
All right, next game here, Panthers, Bears. Bears are favored by 4, 41-point over-under. Let's start on the Panthers side, since that's your division. Anybody you're feeling that could be, basically we're looking for anybody that can essentially be a top 12 wide receiver or running back, or a top 5 tight end, or a top 5 quarterback. Like,
is Deontay slated to play? That's going to be the big question here, because if he is, then I think he's got real upside. I know there's, they haven't confirmed whether he's in or not. Dude's on one right now.
Yeah, he was limited most recent practice.
Mhm.
I like the idea. He's been cleared actually. As of 29 minutes ago, CBS says that
Great.
Deontay Johnson's cleared to play. So I like that. I like that option.
Andy Dalton revenge game.
Yeah, we can't pick a quarterback from this game, I don't think.
Oh no, just no. This is just pro Johnson hype.
Yeah, that's true. Every game that Andy Dalton's going to play is a revenge game because he's been bouncing around.
Love it.
Bears side. We're not going to go Caleb. We're probably not going to start a running back.
No way.
DJ Moore, maybe?
DJ Moore is definitely a nominee. I haven't loved the literally my favorite thing is that somebody new posts the Shane Waldron route chart every single Monday morning, and it's always so painful. I just don't kind of love what they're doing there. I mean, if we're looking for top 12, maybe, but Cole Kmet, I mean, what are we thinking about Cole Kmet here?
I just didn't. I don't love his spot, his place in that pecking order. You know what I mean? Like he had the good game when the one good game he had. In context, they ran 90 offensive plays, dropped back to pass 58 times. Right? Cole Kmet got 10 targets, but so did everyone else. Like everyone got 10 targets, so it's not like he really separated himself there. And now Keenan Allen's back, so it's just not as exciting for me. Which
you got to feel good that they are no longer drawing up plays specifically for Gerald Everett, though, right?
I kind of like Gerald Everett.
I do too, but he's in a foster home right now. We're trying to find him a forever home.
I just think, dude, I look around and I'm like, these GMs, like, how are they let these guys do this time and time again? And it seems like it never works. Just like, I want to bring this guy with me. It's like Gerald Everett, he brought him with him. He was on the Rams. He was not good there. He brought him with him to the Seahawks. He was not good there. He went to the Chargers and he was okay. And then he's like, I need to have this guy.
What? I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
They never unlocked him in the first place. Let's go ahead and continue to not unlock him here.
Especially on a team with 3 wide receivers and another tight end that you're paying $40 million. You don't need multiple tight ends. It's like the stupidest thing. What are they doing? 3 wide receivers and a tight end. That's all you need. I don't understand it. So
should have been big country.
Should have been. Colts at Jaguars. Next one here. Let's hit this one and then we'll answer some questions for the gang out there. So Colts at Jaguars, 46-point over under, 3-point spread. There's got to be some players in this game you like, right, Chuck?
I mean, is this the Travis Etienne return to form, or is it actually Tank Bigsby season? Because if you're going to do it, you're going to do it against the Colts run D.
I know. That's the thing. The Colts run D has been brutal. But, like, this is – at the end of the day, when we go to make this lineup, like, it's so hard to pick guys we think are going to be splitting snaps. You know what I mean? So I just feel like I think it might be getting too cute. Any of the Jaguars pass catchers in consideration?
Evan Ingram, Thomas Jr. fresh off of should have had another 20-point game.
I think BTJ versus the Colts is definitely on the table. I think that might be a play we use here.
Evan Ingram, athletic wide receivers have been smashing the Colts. That was Rome Odunze's breakout game.
Exactly. So hey, I love that one. On the Colts side, mobile quarterbacks are always a possibility.
Would you feel any differently about the entire Colts lineup if it was Flacco in there?
Yeah, I would love all of them better. They would obviously be better.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like we would move up Michael Pittman. We would move up Josh Downs.
Enough to put them into this lineup, though.
The Jaguars safeties have been absolute dog water. Andre Cisco and Antonio Johnson have been brutal this year. They're grading out like neither one of them is in the top 100 safeties on Pro Football Focus, and there's only 32 teams, Chuck. So I mean, like,
that's fun.
Somebody to hit a home run here, like Alec Pierce or something. But again, that's more of like those other DFS like daily.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Where there's a salary. Here, there's no salary. So at the end of the day, we're gonna be sitting here like, and we'll be like, oh, do we start Alec Pierce or do we start CeeDee Lamb?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't ever want to hear that question again.
That's what I'm saying. That's what it could boil down to at the end. So I guess we could throw Pittman in consideration, or maybe Trey Sermon if we want to get cute. But I don't know. Let's move on and get some chat questions popping.
I miss the chat. I miss you guys.
Chat rocks, dude. Thank you guys for supporting us. Hit a like and subscribe. That's huge for us. There's basically 3 ways you can support us, one of which is free. Like, subscribe, retweet. If you're watching on Twitter or Twitch, come on over and watch on YouTube. That helps us out. Another way, if you go to my FFPC and you want to play this game, use promo code Coop. They'll give you $25 when you deposit $35 or more. Or the best way, the way that Ann Dunn supports us, the way that Rod supports us, is to become a Fantasy Alarm member. And right now, if you go over to fantasyalarm.com, you can get signed up and get a 7-day free trial, so you can see what it's all about, all the cool stuff behind the paywall where the fancy kids hang out. So go check that out now. In the chat here, this is where we help you. Ann Dunn wants to know Javonte, Chase Brown, Mike Wilson, or Mike Williams. I'm not starting Jordan Whittington of that group. So where are you living there? Or is it Jordan Whittington? I mean, he played a ton of snaps.
He's looking good. He's trying to fight Tutu for that top spot. I don't love the Cardinals this week. They haven't been able to put 4 good quarters together of offense yet, at least since that Rams game. Don't love Javonte either. My gut here is Chase Brown and Mike Williams. The Mike Williams 60-yard touchdown is looming if Rodgers decides he's going to throw it that far.
Right.
And then Chase Brown, I mean, he looks better and better every week. He's stuck in early Austin Eckler, get me out of this RBBC situation mode right now.
Yeah.
Ravens deep run D, it looks better than I think it actually has been on or the stats look better than it's translated on film.
Right.
That might be my thing.
Fantasy Twitter, we need that guy, right? We need that guy because we had Eckler, like you mentioned, and then we had Tony Pollard, and then it was Jalen Warren.
We're one short right now. They all wear 30. They all wear 30.
All wear 30. Well, you have to. So, like Chase Brown is a new 30 for 30, big fantasy Twitter darling. Zach Moss will probably score multiple touchdowns, but Chase Brown, I mean, he looks good. Like that's the one thing that whether you're being a realistic and saying, oh well, they split it and Zach Moss starts, like you can't say that Chase Brown doesn't look explosive because he does. That's a fact. Yeah. So I'm with you on that one. Best kicker outside of the studs, I'll point you at Lindellians, but I'll tell you what, Chris Boswell just keeps knocking him through. So
I picked him up last week. He was guy I'm looking at it going, this is going to be auto for the rest of the season.
Right. The Boz, it's like if you don't trust the quarterback, I trust the quarterback to move the ball and then stall. You know what I mean? It's like Justin Fields delivering on the field goals.
You could also get out on one last ride with Nick Folk, Mr. 24 points last week, although he does have a bye coming up.
Yeah, Folk, dude. What a rock solid bro. I miss him from his time with the
I don't have a lot of those anymore. Rock solid pros.
Dude, I remember seeing an interview with Bill Belichick where he brought up Nick Folk, and it was so funny because he was talking about how Nick Folk taught him some stuff about kicking with like the way the wind comes in from the stadium and stuff. But Belichick wasn't like praising Nick Folk. He was basically like pissed. He was like, I can't believe I didn't do that myself. Like he's like, this guy came in and kind of showed me up a little bit. He was like,
that's right out of a sitcom.
Right. He was like not even happy. He was just like, yeah, this guy taught me some stuff. And I was, it's like, what a hard All right. Last one here. Would you pick up Raheem Mostert and drop the Gus bus?
I would. Gus is Gus is up there for guys I don't want to see play anymore this year. And I hate to say that, it brings me no joy. Raheem can at least bring something to the Dolphins that they've been lacking.
All right. Gus Bus has been exactly the Gus Bus for as long as I can remember. He's had so many opportunities to be the guy with all the injuries the Ravens have had, and they've never given him the keys, man. So what are you going to do? All right. Let's get back to it here. We have the Bills and Texans next.
Now we're talking.
This is a 48-point over under. Bills 1-point favorite. So we're going to be pulling somebody probably from each side here, I think, Chucky.
Sure.
All right.
If I'm pulling somebody from each side, I think it's a big Diggs game. I really, really do. And I'm honestly not even riding the – I know people are like, how are you not going to go Nico? I think probably coverage will shift to Nico, and they're going to make Diggs beat him, and I think he's capable of it. I mean, I think he's looked pretty damn good this year.
So you're looking at big Diggs. You think you
I
like
love big Diggs. Big Diggs would be the move right now. I think so for sure. Where are you on the quarterbacks here? If you had to pick one from this game.
I mean, this is kind of what we do. I think what I'm going to do on the sheet here is I'm going to throw both quarterbacks on here, and I'm going to throw Diggs on here, and then we'll throw another Bill on here, and then when we get to the end, we'll kind of do an if so facto, like, because we're using Diggs, we can't use Stroud. So on this one, I kind of think we got to use at least one tight end, and it's tight end premium. We can't use two. I'm thinking Kincaid might be on the table. Specifically because Khalil Shakir's out, right?
Yep. So out today.
Yeah. So I think for that one, that might be the guy we go with.
Sure.
Next one here, we got another good one. Ravens Bengals 48. Why did we even talk about those first couple games? Like, stupid.
I don't know, because Ravens Bengals doesn't have the juice that it felt like it would have had in previous years, although I still think it's a spicy matchup.
Yeah, it's 48.5 point over under. So they're expecting the Bengals to not just lie down here. But I mean, the King Henry, dude, has been hanging. He's been hanging big digs on pretty much every team. 150 yards against the Cowboys, 199 against the Bills. I mean,
yeah, I think if we're looking for a running back, that's probably number one right now. The Bengals defense is toothless. They've got nothing in the tank, and I don't know what they're going to be able to do to stop him.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Chuck, you got a lot of pressure on you because week 1 they don't run the contest because they're still doing the drafts. Week 2 with Dave Kluge, we finished in the money. Week 3 with Justin Boone, we tried to do the 100-person one, and we still finished like pretty high up, like 15 or 16, but not in the money. And then last week with Bob Harris, we finished in the money again. We finished 4th. So I got us in a 30-person contest. If we don't finish in the money, then I'm gonna have to send out all those nude pictures I have of you.
Oh God, I had COVID when those were taken. That's really not a fair depiction of the male figure.
Right, and not the good ones, because there's the good ones and there's the bad ones. I'm sending the bad ones.
I also had COVID for the good ones, so I don't know. Maybe it's not going to be.
It was kind of a hot and cold era for you, I will say.
But, who doesn't love a fruit bowl?
Yeah, so that's one of the good ones. So if we'll put it this way: if we finish bottom half, we send out the bad ones. Finish top half, it's a good one. If we finish in the money, then I'll just keep them for personal and to share with the Fantasy Line members on the Discord, like we promised. Ravens, it's Lamar Jackson or Henry, and probably none of the pass catchers. On the Bengals, what do you think?
Feels like a complete wash all the way across. I mean, Chase, obviously a nominee, just depending on if we want to come back through and look how all the other wide receiver matchups shake out. But I mean, Higgins isn't going to give you that elite ceiling that we want. I don't think Joe Burrow is going to against this Ravens team. And then the running backs are what they are. Tight end's not even an option.
I think we're going to start Jamar Chase. I think it's as simple as that. It's like a chalk line. We want a chalk lineup with a couple tweaks, right? And so starting the top 3 or 4 running backs from our rankings, that's been working for us. Like we've just been starting Barkley and Kamara and whoever. No Barkley this week because he's on bye, so we'll have to figure that out. But I think that's the way to go. So a guy like Henry, let's just go with him, or maybe Lamar. We'll see. Let's pop back in the chat real quick. Derek wants to know, what's up, Derek? Derek wants to know Akers, Tyrone Tracy, Trey Sermon, or Jeremy McNichols. So
why are you doing this to us again? Another person. Why are you doing this?
Bargain Bennington here. So
I mean, right now I'm just I never want to hope that Jonathan Taylor's not playing, but if he's not, or they talk about some sort of snap count or something like that, Sermon feels like the go there. Otherwise,
he has Taylor. He has Taylor, so I just say start Taylor or Sermon. If Taylor plays, just start him because Taylor, half a game of Taylor is better than
he's getting touchdowns with Jonathan Taylor is healthy. I mean, what are they going to do with not?
Exactly. It's just better than McNichols. And McNichols, it's like Scott Fishbowl or something maybe, but not here. Albert says hello. And Dunn wants to know Caleb Williams or Derek Carr. Derek Carr with no Taysom Hill is different than Derek Carr with Taysom Hill. So
primetime Derek Carr on the road against the Chiefs. Doesn't feel as good as Caleb Williams at home against the Panthers.
Yeah, I think it's got to be Caleb there. Even though I do like Carr, it's just not a good matchup for it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about this lineup? Brock Purdy, Derrick Henry, Chuba Hubbard, Marvin Harrison Jr., Xavier Legette, Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, and DeAndre Swift in the Broncos defense, Broncos defense has been pretty good.
I mean, that's better than any team I have in any league right now.
Yeah, you're just showing off, Chris. Yeah, you're rascal.
Not even a question. Just, hey, look at this fucking fire team.
Yeah, Ninja Chicken says he needs the tight end guru's help. We'll get your questions in, and we'll ask Chuck what you think. All right, here we go, Chuck. Brad McCoy with the Twitch gang.
Finally.
Twitch glasses for the Twitch gang. Now you can complete your bar mitzvah DJ look. Yeah, get all the way up there.
Comfy.
Glad to see the Tigers sweep the Astros. It's always F the Astros. Always going to be that way. I just traded Dak and Amari for Goff and Olave. Dak pretty much my backup because I have Kyler. But the trade got vetoed. They don't want to see me winning. Do you think a trade like that should be vetoed?
I mean, I'm not against vetoing trades in the first place, so absolutely not. I believe in a strong commissioner that has authoritarian power to stop in. So what is that basically? You're trading Amari for Olave?
What's wrong with the trade?
Yeah,
I don't see any issue with that trade.
all right,
What the heck, dude?
shenanigans. People don't like to see other people succeed. That's what it is.
It's true, man, and that's like the vetoing is such a joke, man. It's like my opinion is this: there should only be vetoes if there's collusion, right? And collusion is cheating. So for me, I'm not voting to veto the trade. I'm voting to remove the cheaters from the league, and then of course we reverse the trade. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like if somebody's cheating, you remove them. And at the very beginning, as you suggested, being a strong commissioner solves those problems by just not having cheaters in your league. Like if the trade
That's
isn't
like weak
cheating,
leadership right now. Weak leadership
exactly.
in the league.
And some people are like, oh, well, what if it's a new league where it's like you got new people in playing for the first time? Well, if that's the case, then it's not a very serious league because obviously if you're doing like high stakes or like big money leagues, you're not inviting people in for the first time. And what you got to do as a commissioner is guide them, right? Set a little 2-day window where either person can take the trade back. And when the trade goes up, you reach out and you say, hey, Steve, I don't know why you're trading away Derrick Henry for Jeremy McNichols here, but let me explain to you.
I wasn't going to jump in there. I was going to let you pull something like that.
Let me explain to you how the game works so that you don't do that. And then now you've learned how to play, right? Like if you invite that guy into your high stakes league and he makes a bad trade, that's your fault as a commissioner. Don't prevent him from playing, right? If anyone vetoes one of my trades, I'm leaving that league.
These are just haters being haters. Look, this is an election year. You got to get the initiatives on the ballot to remove vetoes from your league in situations like this. There's just no place for it.
I'm a single issue voter, dude. If Tim Walz comes out and he's like, I'm in favor of vetoes, well, you know what I mean?
We grew up as middle class as kids. You know what I mean? I had a summer job at McDonald's. I know how it goes.
That's right, dude. It's like, the working class people, you trying to veto and hurt these people's feelings, dude? What are you going to have a public vote to shame one of your friends because they made a bad trade? What's the matter with you? All right, next game here. That'll make them want to play fantasy. Let's all vote on how stupid you are.
Cutthroats.
Right? Just brutal, dude. Let's all vote on how stupid Timmy is publicly. Okay, Browns at Commanders. 43.5, 3.5 point favorites for the Commanders. Jaden Daniels, superstar, no.
Superstar in the making, absolutely, no doubt about it. Let me get back. I'm going to fall asleep if I stay lean back like that.
Cop out. Are you keeping the glasses though?
Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable. I feel like I'm in my element right now, and I want to support the Twitch crowd.
I wasn't even wearing my Twitch glasses. I was wearing those are my Mike Tomlin glasses. The Twitch glasses.
So Browns defense, one hit wonder last year, or are they going through a breakout like the pre-divorce filings right now? What's going on?
I honestly think that you got a guy in Deshaun Watson who had like the one knock on him when he was drafted was velocity. And then he like destroys his shoulder, and then now he can't throw the ball. So I just worry that it's a combination of this guy being a jerk and us not rooting for him, and that we might have like a Chad Pennington situation here where this guy now all of a sudden, like Chad Pennington had multiple surgeries on his shoulder and he literally couldn't throw the ball downfield. One of the most accurate quarterbacks of all time because he can only throw like 10 or 15 yards. Like I think this might actually be the situation for this player now where he actually might physically be limited, which it's rough. But at the same time, like in this matchup, we have to kind of take the risk and possibility that against a terrible Commander secondary, Amari Cooper could pop off.
Does feel like Amari Cooper potential. The Commanders' offense has taken away a lot of the fact that like they still have one of the worst defenses in the league by a pretty wide margin too. So it's definitely something to keep an eye on. You'd love to see a David Njoku return to form, but maybe give it a few weeks.
Yeah. Greg Martinez says old people like us with his Redskins logo, just to make sure it's true. Says we use YouTube. WTF is a Twitch, which I've been meaning to ask you folks. If Chuck and I were to just abandon fantasy football and just stream video games on Twitch, Would you guys watch us just play? What if we did a show, chat? Would you guys be interested if we just did a show where we were playing like a video game like PUBG or Call of Duty or whatever, and we were answering start-sit questions and stuff while we were doing that? Is anyone interested in that kind of stuff, or is that stupid? Let us know.
Chat. I'll do anything you guys want on screen. I'll do anything for you guys.
It's true. I mean, that's what we're here for. So let us know if we're down for that. I mean, we were already playing video games, so whatever.
Is that a sneaky Terry McLaurin addition to the chart I just saw?
I just got to throw names around.
Think you can get to Scary Terry in there on October without me noticing?
I know. I snuck him in there. So what do you think? McLaurin, is he an option?
Not this week. I don't think so. I think it's a bad matchup for him. I think the Browns corners, they pair up pretty well with what they're trying to do, at least from a Cliff Kingsbury standpoint.
I removed him. Anne says she would watch us play video games, so that's one. And actually, honestly, that's all I needed. I don't know how to do it though, Chuck. Do you know how to set it up?
Nights at 9:00, you're gonna find Sauce McFloss and Q Exotic on PUBG slaying and giving out picks.
Toronto Days knows he's got the Sauce McFloss. Yeah. Sauce McFloss, Q Exotic, and Meat Mansion 69. That's our crew. Hit us up on the Xbox if you want.
We drop hot, ladies and gentlemen. We drop hot.
We do, yeah. We're actually we're not really super interested in winning as we are getting murdered. All right, back to what we were doing.
Raiders, this is a fun one.
Yeah, Raiders Broncos. 36 point over under, 2.5 point favor for the Broncos. You pulling anybody from the Broncos side at all?
From the Broncos side, no chance. From the Raiders side, might like a little Brock Bowers here.
Brock and roll.
I think a little Brocksky.
Yeah, I think that's the only option from this game. I mean, Cortland Sutton is getting peppered with targets, but it's just kind of like he's on pace for like 150 targets, but
Cortland Sutton had more receiving yards than Bo Nix had passing yards. So you tell me how that makes sense.
The second leading pass catcher was fullback Michael Burton with 3 yards. Is Michael Burton on the table?
Oh, can we? Where's the fullback slot in this? It's frustrating. They don't have one.
Yeah, I mean, everyone would start use chalk. He's the chalk. Or Taysom Hill would probably be the best fullback if you were eligible. Here we go. Cardinals at 49ers. 7.5 point favorites for the Niners. 50 point over under. I think players can potentially be pulled from both sides. Let's start with the tough one, which is the Niner side, because you got Purdy, you got Ayuk, you got Debo, you got Jordan Mason, you've got George Kittle.
I mean, I'll throw out, certainly Kittle is an A-lister, especially with this matchup and how he's playing and how healthy he is. Jordan Mason I really like too, but not as much as some of the other running backs that we've talked about. He is killing it. I don't really like any of the wide receivers just because I don't think they're going to give you that. I do think it's an Ayuk. You know how coaches can be. They're like, oh, everyone's clowning Ayuk. You don't think we can get him the ball? Watch 10 targets come his way.
Right.
But I still don't think it's going to be up.
I kind of like the Cardinals to cover.
They play the 49ers well.
I know. Well, except for that time, Christian McCaffrey scored 4 touchdowns on him last year, and
dude's he's celebrating Oktoberfest in Germany right now.
Yeah, dude, he's dunkling up, dude. So he's getting dunkled up over there, bro. I think that's the recipe, bro. It's just like, some brats and some cheese and
sure. Come on back.
And a chick with two giant steins of beer.
You're making me want to leave this podcast early.
I kind of, dude. Fire is Friday, baby. What are you guys doing, chat? What are you guys doing this weekend? Let us know.
I would love to know what the chat's up to this weekend. Maybe I'll copycat somebody.
You guys getting dunkled up, gang? Let us know. Says all right. Greg says your favorite video game is Pepsi Man. Is that true? Is that a video game?
Pepsi Man on Game Boy Color? Let's go.
That's real?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's
Come on.
Cardinal side of the ball. Kyler Squirrely is always on the menu.
Sure.
James Conner, pretty okay.
This is the Cardinals are in that zone to where I don't think I'm ever going to sit in it. None of their guys are matchup dependent. They're start every week. But I'm just not, how high their ceiling is going to be pretty dependent on the quality of the defense they're playing.
This one is good.
Yeah, quite good. They're rounding into form earlier than I had hoped they would be.
I threw Marvin Trey on there just because.
No, you should. I mean, Trey's always got to be considered. You got to wonder if what they're going to be having Fred Warner do this week, and if he's going to continue to be the defensive player of the year or not.
Yeah.
Schnitzeleisen.
Yeah, it looks like the chat says this weekend they're getting into schnitzel and shenanigans. Should that be the team name for our FFPC team?
If that's not the team name, then you're never going to see me again.
I've been doing it based on what it sounds like the two names. So we had Cooper Boone Charcoal. Last week it was I forget what it was last week. This week is Bass Cooper Boats and Shows is what I had in there.
I was thinking CNC Fantasy Factory, but that one's pretty good too.
Yeah. Bass Cooper Boats and Chat. Should we go Bass Cooper Boats and Shows or Schnitzel and Shenanigans?
I'm going Schnitzel and Shenanigans just because of the originality.
I think it's got to be that because the chat came up with it, dude. Luke says game night Saturday, big weekend ahead. Let's go. Maybe Bath and Beyond. Not sure if we'll have time. Nice little Saturday.
Once it hits the lips, man. Once it hits the lips.
Once it hits the lips. Yeah, let us know, chat. I'd love to know what you guys are up to, you little rascals. All right, next game here. Giants, Seahawks. 43.5 point over under. Seahawks favored by 6. Seahawks are hottest team in football.
Am I insane to be excited for this game? I'm really excited for this for whatever the reason may be.
Yeah, I mean, Malik Neighbors is going to run into some Tariq Woolen, but I don't know. Malik Neighbors might be must start at this stage, right?
Oh, there's no doubt. He's the top 5 fantasy asset right now. I think the way that this train's leaving the station. I just like I like the matchup for almost everybody involved in here, except for me. I mean, I would have said Kenneth Walker maybe a little not a great matchup, but he just went up against what was probably the number 1 rushing defense in the league and turned them inside out. So I'm going to stop saying stuff like that.
Kenneth Walker rules, dude. What the heck?
Turns out he's quite good.
Yeah, and I think the scheme is great because Zach Charbonnet scored 2 touchdowns when he was out, but then Walker came back in. He was a dog. So I think I'm with. If you want to just go Walker here for the Seahawks, I'm fully on board 100%. I think I have him ranked RB3 this week.
You
know,
hotness.
That new hotness, that new sweetness. All right, let's move on then. The chat wants Schnitzel and Shenanigans. Oh yeah, Neighbors is out this week, so we can't go Neighbors.
Oh, officially?
Officially ruled out. Hey, that got the chat excited. Thanks for joining us. We're asking what you do this weekend. Crickets. We say one thing wrong, murdered. Here we go. Ruckus has got us. Golf on Saturday, football Sunday. That's how you do it, Ruckus.
Go. Divorced on Monday. I like it.
Oh, dog. All right, so Giants then. I mean, that leaves Wan'Dale Robinson.
It's gonna be a no for me, dog. As much as I like our the man himself.
Yeah. So I guess nobody then would be our Giants option.
Darren Waller, maybe.
Yeah, wall banger.
Waller an option?
I'd be sick if he would come
NFL
back.
legend Darren Waller.
Yeah, Theo Johnson just not running enough routes, man.
What about Greg Joseph?
We're gonna need a kicker at some point.
We are gonna need a kicker, and he came in. What did he go 4 for 4?
But do you trust a man with 2 first names?
Let's talk about where does Greg rank in the top 3 Gregs of all time?
Greg Joseph.
Yeah, can you name 2 more?
I would say
other than Greg Dortch.
I would probably go Joseph over Dortch. Top 3 Gregs of all time.
Old Greg, got to be number 1.
Old Greg number 1. Greg Rosenthal is kind of cool.
That's such a great poll.
There's not a lot of great Gregs. Greg Olson. Greg Olson probably the best football Greg.
That's a pretty good one. This is one we're going to need the chat to help us out with.
Who do you think? Yeah, help us out. Who are the best Gregs? Greg Maddox. That's a great Greg, dude.
Greg Oden.
Excellent Greg. I don't know if I'd put Greg Oden up there.
Greg Jennings.
Who do you think wins if you're going to stack up football player versus football players? The Gregs or the Craigs? And I'll also allow the Craigs to have Roger Craig.
I gotta go with the Gregs. I mean,
I'm feeling the Gregs, but there's some great Craigs out there. We'll circle back. Let us know, chat. Greg Gabriel, Ani Coop in the house.
That's hotness.
Yeah, one of Ani Coop's favorite players, Roman Gabriel, as well from back in the day. Yeah. Okay, let's get back to it. Speaking of that, Packers Rams. A couple people saying Greg's, couple people saying Craig's. Packers Rams here. Audie Coop's Rams, so you're contractually obligated to say nice things, but they are 3-point underdogs, 48.5-point over under. So we're gonna need some players from this game. On Audie Coop's Rams side, who you got? Coop, let us know in the chat who you got too.
I'm going to say that this will be, I know it's the second highest over under of the weekend. This will be the highest scoring affair. Matthew Stafford, nobody's playing better and getting worse results than Matthew Stafford is right now.
Yeah.
Packers, Jordan Love, second half against the Vikings. Absolutely. I mean, granted, they're playing against a team that's, knows they're up 28-0. They looked great. But this is one of those where it's a bunch. I want this game. I want this game on the big screen TV. I don't know if I want one particular player other than maybe Jordan Reed.
Yeah. And if Jordan Reed's not available, we'll go with Jaden Reed.
I thought we were doing famous Jordan's rankings. Did I mess that up?
Yeah, Jordan Reed 1.
Let's
Jordan.
Get top 3 Jordans, guys. We're gonna do top 3 everybody today.
Yeah, we might. Jordan Mason. Potential lineup guy. Okay, so Jaden Reed. Yeah, I'm not really going for like Tucker Kraft or Colby Parkinson.
I thought you were a huge Tucker Kraft guy. I thought you were the biggest Tucker Kraft guy that's walking around these parts.
I'm coming around on him. You know what I mean? I've been, had some good conversations on Twitter with some people that are really reasonable. So, yeah. I mean, I've never been like against Tucker Kraft. I just think of people going a little crazy, dropping like huge fab on him and dropping Kyle Pitts and stuff to add him. So, I
think it's reactionary to the wasteland that it is right now. People are like, God, like it's an oasis. They see in a normal season, I feel like it would be a little bit more hinged.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I think that when Kyle Pitts already had a good game, when Mark Andrews has a good game this week, everyone's gonna be like, wait a second. Like last year, people got to remember, last year I was getting questions in October. Do I drop George Kittle? Right. And then you look back and it's like, okay, George Kittle did have a game with 1 catch for 9 yards because Christian McCaffrey scored 4 touchdowns against the Cardinals. Yes. And then 2 weeks later, he did another game where he had 1 catch for 1 yard. And then by the end of the season, he was a top 5 tight end in fantasy football. The Ravens, as much as we think it could be possible, are not going to be able to just run the football all over every single team every time. And when you go and sort the number of tight ends that have a 50-yard game this season, it's not a lot. And Mark Andrews did have 1. We're acting like he's had 0 points every week, when 1 week he did have 4 catches on 5 targets for 52 yards. So don't be surprised if against the Bengals this week, Mark Andrews comes out and he looks pretty good, and everyone's like, oh, wait a second, Mark Andrews is still pretty good. Maybe I can mix him in the lineups. But I digress.
I'm starting him. Mark Andrews feasts against the Bengals, and I think that he's been too important to the organization for them to just be like, you know what? Let's get some more Nelson Aguilar targets.
That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. All right. So we're not going to do Rams. We're not even going to consider. I mean, there's really Kyron Williams, I guess, would be part of the equation. No,
you don't want to do Bart Harley.
Bart Harley Narvison. That's so stupid. I love it, dude.
Poor guy.
I think I'm going to put Williams on the sheet. Doesn't mean he's in the lineup. That means he's on the sheet. All right. Next game here, Cowboys. How about them Cowboys?
This is a fun one.
Steelers. 44.5-point over under. So they're saying the Steelers are going to have to play some offense. Steelers are favored by 2.5. So Arthur Smith, obviously everyone loves him. He rocks. On the Steelers side,
I have to, just because he's been good to me as of late, I have to honorable mention Lemuth.
Yeah.
Cowboys borderline devastated health-wise when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. I don't think there's a single other skill position player I think is worthy of that ceiling play other than CeeDee Lamb, who obviously needs the recognition of all recognition. Brandon Aubrey. I mean, I keep coming back to the kickers here because all these games.
Aubrey rocks, bro. Like that, dude. Honestly, getting the right kicker in there at the end of the day definitely helps. Would we consider Justin Fields?
I'm not going to. I'm going to consider him a quality starter in fantasy, probably a fringe top 10 guy, but not this week.
Would we consider George Pickens? No Deron Bland, and also Carson Kalen has been terrible and hurt. If Andrew Booth and they weren't shadowing last week, they were like, so we got neighbors against Andrew Booth Jr. for some snaps, which was entertaining.
And they knew that right away too, which was so funny. They were immediately going to him.
Cooked. So Pickens, I think, is on the table. We'll just have to see how many options there are.
I think he's going to look better when we go through this list, bang, 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 than he seems when we're just going through the matchup right now. Because
Truly.
he's playing some good ball.
Yeah. On the Cowboys side, I'm just going to put CeeDee Lamb on the sheet. He's always an option. And then I feel like we have enough good options that we don't want to run Ferg up against the Steelers. But no Brandon Cooks.
Yeah,
he's just more of a floor play than a ceiling play.
Yeah, and he's going to get 7 targets for maybe 50 yards, maybe a touchdown. But I want 10 targets for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's what I want, and you're going to give me what I want.
Exactly. I think you're going to get it, and I think you're going to get it not from Ferguson. Derek finally correctly changed his name to Weapon X, which is what it should be. Derek. But now whenever I see Weapon X, I'm just going to say Derek. Derek wants to know, Fields, would you start Kyler or Jordan Love? That is a very good question, and I'm going to let Chuck answer.
Give me Kyler, and that's going to be against probably anything that I've said in this podcast so far, but just going with my gut feel. I like Kyler. I like those legs, boy.
Same way, man. Especially if it's 4-point passing, it's Kyler. If it's 6-point passing, I would consider Love. But if it's 4-point passing, I'm going to start Kyler because the rules are broken in fantasy football. If you haven't noticed, Justin Fields in 2022 finished as the QB 6 in fantasy football. He threw for 2,200 yards. The QB 12
is that good?
Not ideal. The QB 12 was Tom Brady, who threw for literally double that, or 4,600. That's how broken the rules are. Mobile upside is the Konami code for a reason. All right, last game here, and then we'll make this lineup. We have the last game is the Saints and the Chiefs, 43-point over under. Chiefs favored by 5, so the Saints really not being given much of a shot here at all. Which I don't know. I know you as a Buccaneers fan probably think that that's funny and that's excellent, but I don't know. I feel like the Saints are kind of like with Kubiak, like this line, 43-point over under and 5-point spread basically tells you the Saints are just going to lie down and go to bed.
I mean, you got to think if Taysom Hill's in this game, it's a pick 'em, right?
Taysom Hill, the glue guy, my favorite character in the game of life. I can't stand Taysom Hill.
You just run through like the stars of this game, and you have to ask yourselves, like, is this a feast day for Kamara? Is it a feast day for Kelsey? Is it a feast day for Olave? And it doesn't feel like it is for any of those guys on either side of the ball. You can't say Mahomes is a borderline bench-a-rama these days. I don't even know how I'm feeling about throwing the best quarterback in the league in games.
I had him ranked back-to-back with Baker Mayfield, and I had Baker one spot ahead, and after the game Baker had, I'm like, I had Mahomes one spot ahead, and then like looking back, it's like, geez, I would have been happy with what I got from Baker.
Kirk Cousins threw for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns last night. The Saints held the Falcons without an offensive touchdown 4 days earlier. I mean, this is an elite defensive unit. They held the Eagles to a very low score as well. I mean, they're playing Cowboys. I mean, this is a stay away for me.
Yeah, but Kamara's been so cool that I would still consider Kamara.
He has to have his name on the sheet, and then we got to go through all of these and line them up.
I think he's my sweet angel, and he's been in our lineup pretty much every week, and he's been pretty much awesome. So I don't know. He's a tight end 1 overall in fantasy, so we'll have to consider him. All right, let's hit some quick questions, and then we'll make this lineup. Nope, sorry, Derek. Can't change your name mid-show.
It was a good run. It was a good run as Weapon X, but he's back to Derek.
Derek. Just throw up the Dereks. Dell or Kincaid from Maddie Osborne.
I'll take Kincaid there, and I'll feel terrible about it. I'll let you know. I feel like crap making that pick, but that's
with no Khalil Shakir, we got to go there. McLaurin or JSN? So you got McLaurin going against the Brownsters, and you got JSN going against the Giants.
JSN's going to be, boom bust, and I think it's going to be a boom week.
Yeah, boom it up with JSN. If we're taking start-sit questions, we are. Sam Darnold or Josh Allen? I mean, Darnold's got the Jets too. So
I
it's
mean, the inflection in your voice told me everything that I think the listeners at home and abroad need to know is that we're going Allen on this one.
We're going Allen. Darnold is just not. Darnold's been good, but the Jets, man, that's the worst matchup.
You do have to ask yourself though, and I don't mean to slow the train down here, but Josh Allen. Let's take a look at this here real quick because I do think it's worth noting as the guy who is the quarterback owner overall. He has had two of the worst quarterback games of the season. One of which because James Cook went completely off, and the other because they got absolutely bottomed out by the Ravens. So as much of an automatic play as that is, 9 points and 7 points in two of his last three games.
Yeah, he just seems like such a nice guy.
Just a big Pepsi guy, huge Pepsi guy.
Yeah, and this is a better matchup than what we were looking at with the the Texans are kind of a mob, so maybe not. Good point by Mile High Luke with Trent McDuffie on Olave. Maybe Shaheed is a tricky upside play. So I
like Shaheed. I like their ability to go to Shaheed even when it's not the right call. That's my kind of offense right there.
Yeah, Derek.
Oh yeah,
throw the D's. All right, let's get in. Let's make this lineup. We'll get you guys out of here. Throw any last-minute questions in there. What we're doing here, for those that don't know, look how small we are. For those that don't know, we're making an FFPC lineup, okay? The way this works is you can start any player you want in the whole goddamn world, except you can't start two players from the same team, okay? No salaries, no draft. It's super cool. This lineup's going to rock. And we finished in the money 2 out of 3 weeks. All right. So a lot of pressure on Chuck here to not screw this up. If you want to play over there, use promo code Coop at myffpc.com. They'll give you $25 if you deposit 35 or more. You can get in here. And what a lot of people from the show seem to be doing, because I see them in there in the same contest that we're playing, is they look for this contest number up here, 85165, and they take all the players they like from our lineup and they put in better players and they beat us, which seems like a good way to make money. What you can do here is you can win a bunch of money, or they kind of give you like an upgrade deal. So you can like either take $300 or you can get a $350 entry into their off-season contest, right? So like with Bob Harris, I hit him up and I'm like, we can take $100 here, or we can get a buy-in into a $150 best ball contest that will draft as another show this offseason. He's like, dude, let's do the show. Let's do the upgrade. So that's
addict behavior.
Yeah, he was very excited about that. It wasn't you. Put it this way: it wasn't even a question about what we were going to take.
That's insulting to ask him that.
Let it ride. Yeah. So let's start here with some players that we absolutely love and we want to get in there. I think we both agreed that we want Derrick Henry in.
Yes.
I got to take my glasses off because I have not played this for a while now. Okay, so Derrick Henry is in. That means we cannot start another Raven, which is good because it takes Lamar Jackson off the table, and limiting the number of quarterback options is good for us. Let's jump over to tight end real quick just to get that done with. The options we highlighted were Kincaid against the Texans with no Klishkir, Brock Bowers against the Broncos, Trey McBride or Kittle from that game, Fryer Truck against the Cowboys, or Kelsey because he's Kelsey. And again, we can start one in the flex if we want because it's tight end premium. But
sure,
who do you feel there?
I'd say in order, Kincaid, Kittle, Kelsey would be the three that I'm looking at here.
Good. I wanted you to say Kincaid for two reasons. One, Kincaid rocks. Two, now we don't have to think about starting Josh Allen. So we can get him out.
Right after we just gave him out.
Yeah. All right. Chat. Hit it. Let us know what guys you think are like must starts. Like who do you rank RB1 this week? Who do you rank RB1?
And give us your reasons why. And they can be creative, whether it's, that you saw a real hot pick of them or, they're supporting a candidate you like.
That's why I put Derrick Henry in right away. He's so strong.
So ripped.
So strong.
Love strong guys.
Big, strong Henry. So who do you rank as running back 1 this week in your rankings, Chuck?
Based upon what we're looking at here, I mean.
Pretty loaded question.
We did have Derrick Henry. I do like Kenneth Walker. I think that's a really hot one. And then I like Kamara. So, Walker or Kamara after Henry.
We can start them all. I think we go Walker just because I don't love other options from that game.
Yeah.
So we'll go Walker there. What's up, dude? Hello, fellow human. Yeah. Who like chat? Who do you rank as the wide receiver 1 this week? Right? Like those are the questions.
Those are the questions that must be answered, and they must be answered now. We've got some digs. We've got some digs on the table.
Yeah, let's get some big digs in there. Let's get digs in there. Nico
Diggs
Collins has
there.
been so good though. But like, so honestly, this is how chalky these lineups are. Having Diggs in there over Nico Collins is like almost all the differentiation we need, because the lineups each week are literally like all the top running backs. It's like, Kamara and all these guys. So I say we go there. For wide receivers, like, we can start Justin Jefferson from like the very top ranks. It's like we can start Jamar Chase, we can start Justin Jefferson, we can start CeeDee Lamb, we can start all three of those players.
I like Lamb. I like to lamb it up this week pretty big. That feels like he's gotten better each week. And like you said, Cooks is out. They have absolutely no run game. That's premium stuff.
Yeah, chat says Lamb. Chat says CJ Moore's gonna CeeDee Lamb's gonna smash. They're throwing out some JJ and some DJ Moore revenge spot game.
We definitely have to throw Chase in there. I know that's when we talked about.
Yes.
There's not a cornerback on the Ravens that can keep up with Chase, or maybe even in the league, to be honest, other than in Denver.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. So we'll get Chase in. I'm not worried about it. We'll get Chase in there. Should we put CeeDee Lamb in there too?
CD. We got CeeDee Lamb, right?
Oh, we already have CeeDee Lamb. Do we put Justin Jefferson in there?
I'd like to see
the Jets.
Here's what I'd like to know: Justin Jefferson or Alvin Kamara, if you had to pick between one of those two right now. Because are we looking at any sort of premium at the position for one over the other?
No, it's just PPR, but that's good for Kamara. Yeah. I want Kamara. Let's get Kamara.
Yeah,
Kamara's the man. He's an RB1 overall in this format on the season so far. All right, so that leaves us with this. That leaves us with, did I do one of the ones where there's no kicker or defense? I think I did the slim challenge. Sorry, gang.
I'm cool with it.
It's much easier, much better.
Don't have to pick between Greg Joseph and Brandon Aubrey. All right.
Whew. Yeah. I mean, that's tough. Wow. Shaheed over both. Mile High Luke. That's sharp, and I love it, but I think we got to go there. JJ has sauce. We're going to leave him out.
That's such premium living right there.
Yeah. All right, we got to get out of here. It's already past 2. Let's pick one more flex, and then we'll pick a quarterback. So options for the flex are, we could start Jordan Mason, James Conner, Kyron Williams, or we could start Justin Jefferson, Marvin Harrison Jr., Amari Cooper against the Commanders would be crazy. Brian Thomas Jr. we mentioned.
Let's get a 49er in there, and let's get Jordan Mason. I like that. I like the continued usage there. I think that's going to be we're getting a little cute with our passy boys right now.
Yeah.
I like that a whole lot. I'm going to throw one out there. Player. We did not talk about this a lot. We actually didn't talk about it at all because we're smart. We didn't waste any time on it. Tyreek Hill is an insane pick, right?
Nah, yeah, you can't do it. Well, he gets Christian Gonzalez. Well, here's the thing. Why don't we do this first? For quarterbacks, we had Josh Allen. We can't use him because we have Kincaid. Can't use Stroud. Can't use Jackson. That literally narrows it down to Jaden Daniels or Kyler Murray of the guys that we wanted to use. So what do you think? Do we go with our heart of hearts and go with Kyler Murray, or go with the hottest QB in football with Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
We want to be able to say we were there,
Right. Well, ride the wave, dude. Well, that leaves us one last flex spot to flex a player.
I know who it is, right? George Pickens, baby.
Ooh, pick him up. Put him down. Pickens could have a monster game. Patrick Surtain was just grabbing him, just tackling him. And I'm telling you, with those corners out, Pickens could have a big game. I think that's it. That's the lineup.
We got Monday night and Sunday night to look forward to. I'm into it.
Yeah. All right. That's it, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Here's the final lineup. Jaden Daniels, Derrick Henry, Kenneth Walker, right? So those are and then our CeeDee Lamb and Stephon Diggs. Those are our starters. Then at the flex, we're forced to start losers like Alvin Kamara, Jordan Mason, Jamar Chase, and our ringer, George Pickens. At tight end, we got Dalton Kincaid with no Khalil Shakir. If you want to play, use promo code Coop. They'll give you $25 when you deposit 35 or more. Mile High Luke, I know you're already set up over there. You can get your lineup in there with Shaheed if you want. So there you go. Before we go, Chuckster, let everybody know where they can find you, dude. What you got going on? Where we're going to be streaming PUBG on Twitch.
I was going to say you can find me at the 1-inch screen to the right of this video.
Should I put it back? Yeah.
I do like that little. Yeah, hey, you guys. I'm going to kick my feet up.
I'll let you be the big. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the feet shots. Yeah, you can be the big boy.
All right. So present to me what you got. So I am Chuck Bass, host of This Guy Sucks. You can find me Sunday mornings on another fantasy show doing start sits, pregame picks, and every week we try to give away a used car. So you're going to want to check that out. Chuck F. Bass on Twitter, and Tuesday nights with Sauce McFloss on PUBG.
Yeah, that's a boys' night, dude. Although a study did say that we need 2 nights a week, and we've been bargaining with the wives on that. So thank you, Chuck. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Thank you, FFPC. And thank you, Roger Goodell, for everything that you do that makes you so likable. That's it for all of – there he is right there. That's it for us. Have a good weekend, folks. This has been